Hello, welcome to Harris Football. I'm Dave, producer Dave, you may know me, and you definitely know him. That's Christopher Harris. Hey Chris, how's it going?
It's going great. I'm excited. This is a fun show to be mean. Being mean is always a little bit fun.
Yeah. So you're saying we're being mean because we're going to talk about busts, but let's back up for a minute, not be totally mean. We're not saying they're garbage, right? These aren't players that are like, I could do what they're doing. That is clearly not the case, right? What do we mean when we say busts?
I have to say, though, Dave Piper goes on about like what a beefy giant guy you are. So I kind of think you could do what most of these guys do, but I know I couldn't. I'm old.
Sometimes you've benched more than some active players in the league. Maybe not as much now.
Long time ago. 10 years ago. Yeah, a long time ago. No, your point is right. There's no player that we should have in our minds will never draft depending on price. The whole point is given their current value. And I should mention, Dave, that price is becoming a harder thing to figure out. First of all, so many scoring formats are prevalent and widely disseminated via ADP. And then also, you can't get ESPN ADP on half point per reception. They don't have it. They can't get Yahoo. It's not their default standard, right? So we actually get pretty substantially different ADPs depending on what we're looking at, whether it's Fantasy Pros or whether it's Fantasy Football Calculator. So you're all going to just have to trust us that this is kind of an averagey sort of ADPs that we're talking about here. But if in your league it works out differently, the value of these players could wind up being different.
Yeah. Value is really the key word here. It's the opposite. Earlier this week, we put out the flag players videos. If you haven't seen it, I'm linking to it. Go watch them. They're great. This is kind of the opposite of that. This is saying these aren't the best values, and value is all subjective. It could shift. But let's get into the list.
Let's do it.
So first up, we wanted to talk about Kyle Pitts, rookie tight end, and a player a lot of people are excited about, but he made your bust list.
So I'll say, I did bust on the podcast. If people want to find the podcast, it's at harrisfootball.com. I do one every day, and I did a bust list on Monday with JJ Zachariason, and one of my busts is no longer a bust. James Robinson was in that list, and now we know that Travis Etienne is done, so James Robinson no longer on the bust list. I got a couple of rookies at 5 and 4 here that we're going to talk about. Pitts being the first. It's nothing against Pitts as a prospect. He might be generational. It's a tough neighborhood. He's going in the 4th round. It's a tough neighborhood to be drafting a rookie tight end. And there's really no knowing who's right, because there are a lot of people who think that's a good price for Kyle Pitts until we really see what kind of role he has with the Falcons. So, yes, he's the number 2 receiver. Yes, he might be sort of playing a traditional wideout. And the truth is, Sig Bloom came on my show, Dave Hewitt, you probably heard him say it. If this were a wide receiver, if he had a wide receiver label and used in the exact same ways we're about to see him used, no one would blink at a rookie receiver going in the 4th round. People would say it's aggressive, but it's possible. Mm-hmm. The question really is going to come down to whether Kyle Pitts gets used in line as a blocker some of the time. If he's really a slot receiver and that's it, purely a slot receiver, then probably the 4th round is fair. If he's anything short of that, rookie tight ends don't typically perform like that, and there's too many other good players being drafted near him.
Yeah, and you've talked about this before, talked about it on the pod. I personally feel like there's a little bit of a roster construction issue of, in most leagues, you're only going to be playing one tight end as well. So I shift all my tight ends down a little bit. If there's one player on this list I'd be happy to be wrong about, I'd be happy to be wrong because it'd be exciting to watch a rookie tight end come in and be really good. That would be great, and I would take it. But value-wise, it's scary for me in the 4th. Right.
We saw Pat Murray do a breakdown video and come on.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
This could be awesome. It could be great. I'll probably let year 1 go by.
And another year 1, JaMarr Chase is in the list now because a different rookie got hurt. Chris, you're being reactionary. It's the preseason. What are you doing?
3 drops in the preseason, right? Yeah, that's the only reason I'm up. So I'll just say on last Friday and on this Monday, I had 2 guests who included JaMarr Chase as their bust. So I'm going to do bust osmosis. I'm channeling cousin Josh and JJ Zachariason, who don't like JaMarr Chase's ADP. I actually think among receivers, he's probably a little high for me, but where his actual ADP is, I've got it 6th round. That's what I'm looking at here. I'm not really complaining about the 6th round for JaMarr Chase. I don't think Josh likes it. I don't think JJ likes it. And I don't think anybody is making this call because he dropped a few balls in the preseason. You know, there's an easy story to tell. Willie had last year off. Of course, he's rusty. Oh, he's going to drop. Bad chemistry with Joe Burrow. Like, they don't remember each other from 2 years ago. Like, I don't really buy too much of that, to be honest. If there's an argument, I guess it goes, it's, you know, T. Higgins is there and Tyler Boyd is there, and how good of an offense do you really think it can be to provide the kind of value that we're assuming? I mean, Higgins is going right around. I had Chris Raybon on the podcast saying he would take Higgins way above Chase. Like, there is no, that argument is out there too. For me, I'm actually okay if you take Chase in the 6th round. I have a few receivers here that I want to take over him in the 6th round. So like Odell Beckham, Robbie Anderson, Kenny Golladay. I'm scared, but the upside is such that I might think that, listen, they're, you know, Golladay and Chase both scary. So why not take the guy I've seen do it in the NFL? Again, I'm not outraged by this, and he didn't make my initial bust list, but it's worth talking about the possibility that he's going too high.
Yeah, there's a wide range of outcomes, but maybe his ceiling isn't as high as, I mean, I love Golladay. I've absorbed that from talking to you over the years and everything, so it's easy for me to go like, yeah, I'll roll that upside if I'm looking at these two options.
Right.
Next guy on our list, oh, how the mighty have fallen. Adam Thielen made our bust list after being on the flag players last year, Chris. Did you hit your head? Did he hit his head? Why?
I'm not going to give you the whole touchdown regression thing. I just don't really think that's true. I mean, maybe double digits is not realistic, but he had 9, 3 years ago. He's a touchdown maker. He's really great in the red zone. The offense seems to value him in close to the end zone. Like, I'm not going to give you that argument. I'm giving you the Justin Jefferson argument, just that there's a way more exciting, way upside-ier player on his same team, that if I'm designing an offense, I just need more to go to him and less to go to the 31-year-old, I think that's right, Adam Thielen. Again, don't dislike him. And last year, I had him at wide receiver 10 last year. I took no more heat on any call before the season started than having Thielen that high among receivers. It obviously worked out. He was a flag player. He was a flag player not because I have some instinctive need to be Adam Thielen's buddy, but because I thought he was going too low. And this year, I think he's going too high. I've got him as he's in the 4th round. I don't think the 4th round is outrageous. I think I'm just drafting receivers higher than a lot of people are when they get to the 4th and 5th round. So I'm not mad at Thielen in the 4th round. I'm just mad at how many receivers are going after him. Who would you take, Adam Thielen or Amari Cooper?
I might go Thielen there still.
Tyler Lockett, flag player Tyler Lockett. I know you've watched enough film on him.
Yeah, putting the video together. I watched a lot of Lockett film. I'm going Lockett.
Deontay Johnson.
Yeah.
Again, I feel like I've named 3 players who I think have Thielen's upside. A great Amari Cooper season would probably outdo a great Adam Thielen season. And I just think maybe like less of a chance of falling off a cliff. I feel the same way about Lockett. I feel the same way about Johnson. There's just a few receivers. Again, the overall price, 4th round, not too bad, but I have Thielen maybe 7 spots lower in my actual receiving ranks. A quick break. Let's thank League Tycoon. I know a bunch of our viewers are trying out League Tycoon this year. It's the best place to run your Dynasty League if you use player contracts. You'll never need a spreadsheet. Just had someone on Facebook message me and ask if League Tycoon, is it really that smooth? It really is. Your league will be so much easier to manage with League Tycoon, and the owners in your league will just have their contract decisions that they have to make laid out in much easier automated fashion. If you're looking for a place to run a contract league for Dynasty, League Tycoon's the best. Also, check out their redraft leagues. They have a cool scoring draft format called Gambit Leagues, and you can actually try your first one of those for free. League Tycoon has a great website, a great app. Matt from League Tycoon is a fan of this channel. That is how he came to advertise here. I think you'll really enjoy what League Tycoon has to offer. Check out everything they've got, leaguetycoon.com.
Getting back into it, we've got a couple more guys to talk about. They're both a running back position. The running back position, as people say.
The running back position, yeah.
All right, first on the list is Austin Ekeler, who's going pretty high. I mean, almost first round pick, at least for full PPR leagues. Is that what you hate? It's that he's in a PPR, right?
Well, yeah, I don't like PPR leagues. Full PPR, I think, stinks as a format. Right. And what's again, we gave the speech. I gave the speech off the top about different places having different ADPs and not really having a perfect consensus among all formats. But from what I can tell, Ekeler's also going like 13th overall in his standard. I think that's just bananas. You're not getting 1,000-yard rushing season. Can you get it's Joe Lombardi calling plays. Can you get the Alvin Kamara touchdown season where it's a bunch of 5-yard throws from the 5-yard line that Ekeler gets in on? It's possible. I think I'd rather see it. It's hard for me to bet on that before I see it. People will say in a very short sample size before I got hurt last year, you started to see it. I just think part of that short sample size is because Austin Ekeler is miscast as a lead back. He's a lead back the way Kamara is a lead back, but he's not as good a player as Kamara. There are going to be other running backs that play, and there's just a variance there that makes me think some of the touchdowns are going to go to somebody else, and definitely some of the yards are going to go to somebody else. And you said it right. Like in a full PPR, I get it. I think I'm still lower than the market, but I'm closer to that 13th overall or end of the first round. Like, whew. Part of it is just, do we have a head injury as a group? Like, are we not remembering exactly what happened in exactly the same circumstance last year? It feels like we're doomed to repeat our mistakes. And once you get out of full PPR, holy cow! Like, no. I'm just among running backs. I'm taking Najee Harris. I'm taking Joe Mixon. I'm taking Antonio Gibson. All definitely over them. And I darn well need to be sure that those 5 top receivers, ending with like Hopkins at 4, Metcalf at 5, they have to be off the board before I'm considering Austin Ekeler.
Yeah. I mean, that's not shocking. You're going to take a flag player over the Tiny Bones. I mean, he's not the Tiny Bones, but maybe is there a Tiny Bones phylum? I don't know.
He's one of them. He's one of them. Well, I mean, he's gotten pretty buff.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me.
It's weird. Man, those Instagram photos make you cough whenever we see it. I don't know. All right. The final guy on our list is Myles Gaskin. And it's just because you hate everyone, right?
Well, I hate fun.
Yes, that's it.
I hate 7th round picks that turn into good players. What a jerk. So that's not the splashiest way to end it, right? Ekeler would probably be the splashiest way to end it. And again, we have to stipulate that really ADP, we really, really have to be careful. There are some places where we're actually okay with where he's going, but I'm looking now mostly a 4th round pick. And I kind of think he's just a guy. I vastly prefer the roster construction where when I'm in the 4th round, I'm thinking receiver. I just think there's that. Now, the 5 receivers that we like at the very top, they're gone. But a bunch of those, I mean, we did a flag player video where DJ Moore and Tyler Lockett and Brandon Ayuk are all in that area. And I feel so much better having secured running backs and feeling like I'm getting my wide receiver 2 in the 4th round and not having to reach for what, let's face it, no matter what you think of Myles Gaskin, and I think he's kind of just a guy, no one's trying to palm him off as an elite fantasy option. Everybody knows that Malcolm Brown is there. Everybody knows that Savon Ahmed basically looked exactly like Myles Gaskin. We're taking the running back in the 4th round because we've taken 2 receivers beforehand. And so my preference would be, heaven forbid, like I just want to not have to fight that battle and be reaching for a running back in the 4th. I think he's a reach. I think he's a couple rounds of a reach. I think when we get to the end of the year, it's a good story. I'm not rooting against him, but I think when we get to the end of the year, it's going to turn out that people were rooting for Laundry. People were voting for Laundry. Who else is there? And there turned out to be other players.
You guys heard it here. Chris, he doesn't like fun, but we do like you. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment if you think we're crazy or you got your own personal busts. Leave some advice. Let's talk about it, guys. Thanks.
Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button. Write a comment. Tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on. And of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.